Welcome to Home with Justin. From that path your eye travels to structured plantings that read as chapters. Imagine clipped boxwood parterres, small, geometric islands that offer order. Surrounded by looser drifts of cottage favorites, lavender, geraniums, salvia, and feverfew mixed with the architectural drama of roses and bearded irises. The contrast between the clipped, evergreen punctuation and the abundant, seasonal blooms creates a classic rhythm, restraint and abandon in conversation. Functionally, the boxwood anchors lines of sight year-round, giving the garden legibility in winter, while the perennials reduce the need for replanting and reward you with predictable cycles of bloom. Emotionally, this balance calms the eye. A framed view of a rose-clad arbor or a clipped hedge leading to a bench feels like a stage set for quiet ritual. Tea at 4, reading in the late afternoon, a shared silence. Consider vertical elements next. A timber pergola or simple iron arbor establishes thresholds and invites climbing species, old roses, clematis, and honeysuckle, that offer both color and perfume. Trained properly, These climbers create a living ceiling whose leaves filter light and whose blooms scent the air as you pass beneath. Taller specimen trees, ornamental pears, small crabapples, or a Japanese maple place accents at nodes in the garden, marking destinations like a bench or fountain. The verticals maximize planting space without crowding the lawn and create a sense of enclosure that remains open rather than confining. Practically, an arbor or pergola provides shade for a milder microclimate beneath, expanding planting options and making seating more comfortable. Emotionally, passing under an arch of roses feels ceremonial, turning simple movement into an act of arrival. Water and stone come together to give the landscape weight and soundtrack. Picture a modest bluestone basin or a shallow stone fountain, its surface disrupted by a gentle, recirculating trickle that catches light and invites birds. Stone walls, low mortarless fieldstone, edge beds and support terraces. They warm in the sun and collect moss and lichen that make them read as ancient. The sound of water introduces a slow rhythm that masks distant noise and offers a meditative cadence. The stone provides durable structure and texture that ages gracefully. Practically speaking, simple water features attract wildlife and help cool adjacent air, while stone-retaining elements reduce erosion and create microclimates for different plant groups. Materials and finishes shape the mood more than trends ever could. Choose reclaimed hardwoods, roughly hewn stone, aged metal, and muted lime wash or chalky paint on sheds and benches. Avoid glossy or overly polished surfaces. Instead, allow patina to develop. Rust on iron, flaking paint on shutters, a softened sheen on a bench seat where hands rest. These textures are practical. Local materials often require less upkeep and blend with the environment. They also anchor the garden in time. An object that looks like it has lived there for decades invites a slower relationship with place. The benefit is both aesthetic durability and emotional grounding. When surfaces age into beauty, the garden feels like a living archive of use. Seating is not an afterthought but a design intention. Scatter modest, well-placed seats, an oak bench under a flowering pear, a wrought iron bistro by a rose border, a low stone seat at the corner of a herb bed. So the landscape invites specific activities. Choose proportions that fit the human body and the moments you imagine. A deep bench for reclining with a book, a small chair for morning coffee, a pair of stools for casual conversation. Position seating where scent concentrates, near lavender, rosemary, or jasmine, and near focal points like a fountain or a specimen tree so each pause feels like a small ritual. Functionally, more seating options encourage use. Experientially, they choreograph how life happens in the garden and create memories tied to particular views and smells. Plant choice favors longevity and low fuss. Lean into perennials and shrubs that tolerate local conditions. Peonies, echinacea, nepeta, and sedum alongside deep-rooted shrubs like viburnum and lilac. Include a cohort of ornamental grasses for movement and winter silhouette, miscanthus, stipa, or pennisetum, that sing in the breeze and require simple annual trimming. Thread bulbs through beds for seasonal punctuation. Early crocus and daffodils in spring, tulips for mid-spring drama, and alliums for late spring form. These choices lower long-term labor, Perennials establish, shrubs provide structure, and bulbs return reliably each year. They also build a slow succession of interest, so the garden always has something to offer, even as seasons shift. Paths and sightlines choreograph discovery. Rather than a single grand vista, create a sequence of framed views. A clipped parterre that leads to an arbor, an opening that frames a statue or urn, a path that curves to reveal a hidden bench. Repetition of materials, stone, wood, iron, across the garden unifies these vignettes so they read as parts of a composed whole. This choreography encourages movement at an unhurried pace. As you meander, small discoveries accumulate into a broader sense of place, and the garden's personality unfolds in measured increments. Edible and useful plantings make the rustic classic garden practical as well as beautiful. Integrate kitchen herbs, rosemary, thyme, sage, near paths and seating for cooking and scent. Small fruiting trees or espaliered apples along a wall provide spring blossom and late-season harvests. Berry canes tucked into a sunny border yield informal, seasonal treats. These plantings reduce food miles, encourage foraging habits, and bind daily domestic life to the landscape. The benefit is tangible: homegrown ingredients for the table and the sensory pleasure of harvesting, which turns gardening into sustenance.